Kelly Davis, your host of the Untold Miracles podcast, and today we have such a special show. It's not every day that I get to talk to a superhero, but today I get to talk to Jessica Meyer, otherwise known as Cancer Crusher. She kicked cancer's butt a couple years ago when she was diagnosed with brain cancer. Jessica Meyer, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, it's so awesome to be here. Thank you so much.
It is such a pleasure to talk to you. I've got to know you pretty well the last couple of years, and you are such an inspiration to me, and you bravely fought cancer, and so I'm so excited for you to tell people about your journey and the miracles that happened in your life. So are you ready to get going?
Oh, yeah. Let's get this going.
So when you were 11 years old, you were diagnosed with cancer, but there was a miracle behind your diagnosis. Can you please share that with us?
For me, I think, anything could be a miracle. So, behind my diagnosis, there were so many different, little miracles. Like, the way I found out, I was at Walmart with my mom here in Tennessee, and, being an 11-year-old kid, who doesn't want to try the new upgraded blood pressure machine, right?
Exactly.
And, it did my blood pressure, my weight, and then it did the eye test, and my left eye did a good job. But then my right eye, I couldn't see anything. It was, blacked out. So that just led us to an eye doctor, and then they're saying there's a mass behind your eye, and then we ended up going to a regular doctor at the hospital, and they're saying, okay, we need to get an MRI going, and they're like, okay, you have cancer. So that was over a 4 or 5 day span of time, and then right then, they're like, okay, you're diagnosed with cancer. Let's go have brain surgery.
What was your 11-year-old mind thinking at that time when you got diagnosed, when they said the word cancer?
I was thinking, I have school to do. I have homework. I have dance class. They get very mad if you miss dance class. And kind of something to carry on with your childhood life. Because for my 5th grade year, my school, my home, my playground was the bed. My friends were the doctors and nurses. That was my 5th grade year. My 5th grade year was in the hospital, which I am so thankful for having an amazing Children's Miracle Network hospitals right here in Nashville, Tennessee, which is the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital.
I want you to tell us about some of the things that you had to go through with your cancer diagnosis. I know there was radiation, there was chemo, there were surgeries, there were blood transfusions.
Well, because they did the brain surgery, which I thought was really cool. I know my parents didn't think so, but they did the brain surgery by going up through my nose, through my skull, and into my brain to get a biopsy of my brain tumor. So I thought that was really cool. But so, yeah, I had a brain surgery. I had chemotherapy, 4, rounds of chemotherapy, which of 2 different chemo drugs, and then I had radiation. I've been poked so many times with a needle, probably more than a pincushion, but that's all good now.
How were you able to stay positive on those really hard days when you were going through those treatments and, really some low points of your life?
Well, 2 things. One is I think that always having a positive mindset and a positive outlook on life is going to get you a lot farther than being negative. Negative is not going to get you anywhere. It just might even make things worse. And my second thing is, I just said, I choose to have faith, I choose to have fun, and I choose to fight. And that's just what I did.
You just developed that mantra in the hospital? That's pretty amazing for an 11-year-old girl to come up with that mantra. That's incredible.
Well, cancer changes you just a little bit.
What was the lowest point during your treatment, and how did you get through it?
Well, I dropped down to an alarming weight of 46 pounds. I was an 11-year-old girl in 5th grade and 46 pounds.
Yeah, there's little toddlers that weigh that much.
Yeah, I could fit into a 4T. And I remember I was so weak that I couldn't even walk from the living room to the bathroom. And there was this one time I actually collapsed. My body just would not work anymore. It just would not function.
I know there was a time during your diagnosis that there was a really horrible day, but you brought a lot of humor into the day based on what you thought someone said. Tell us about that.
Again, I choose to be positive and have that outlook on life that's going to be positive, but I like to bring the fun into everything. And, during chemo, I remember when I'd be admitted, I had two of my favorite nurses that were there, and we'd be swapping really funny videos, or be swapping new jokes. We'd be like, hey, I heard another one last week.
You know, you wrote down that, because I'm writing a book about a lot of these miracle kids that I've met that have inspired me, and you're one of the chapters, and you said that you have some of the most amazing memories from cancer. What is your most amazing memory from having cancer?
Well, how was this? One of them would be, I was on to my second round of chemo, and, you know, my hair is just falling out like crazy. It was all over my bed, and
by the way, you looked very cute, bald.
Well, thank you. I think it was a lot easier to take care of your hair back then. I remember actually shaving my mom was shaving my head, and my dad was in the bathroom in the hospital with me, and it was just a very touching and memorable moment that my hair used to be so long I could sit on it.
Oh, my gosh.
But to shave your head, you know, that could be a really difficult moment, and it kind of was, but, you know, just being surrounded by your parents and having just the music on just made it, I just will never forget it.
You know, you also mentioned that cancer created quite a few miracles in your life. What would you say is the biggest miracle from going through this experience and kicking cancer's butt? Now,
being, you know, life after cancer, my second act, I would have never guessed I would be where I am now today. You know, I'm 15, I'm in high school, I get to be a pediatric cancer survivor advocate extraordinaire.
Absolutely, you do it very well.
Well, thank you so much. I get to do speeches and raise awareness to help end pediatric cancer, which, by the way, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah, and you've actually been a really amazing ambassador for Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
Oh, thank you.
I've had you come to many events, and you've done a lot of fun things with some celebrities, so I have some questions for you about that. What was it like playing a superhero with Jack Black?
Ooh, a superhero Jack Black. You always see him on, you know, movies or on TV, and you think he's acting. That's just his personality. He is just that outgoing and bubbly. So being a superhero with him, he was, you know, like the evil villain. That was so much fun. Like, that's an experience of a lifetime.
What was it like dabbing with Mr. Mark Cuban?
Oh, my goodness. He is very experienced in dabbing, I must say. And he's a big teddy bear and super sweet.
He is. I think that's something that a lot of people might not know about him. You see him kind of as this tough guy on Shark Tank, but he really is one of the kindest people
oh my gosh.
You could meet.
Big teddy bear.
Tell me what it was like to interview Adam Sandler, Kevin James, and Josh Gad on the red carpet of Pixels. Who was the better interview?
First of all, they are super, super sweet. But they are so funny because, like, I'd be asking them, who do you think would win in a 24-hour gaming marathon, especially because it's Extra Life? And they would both, like, pick each other, like Adam Sandler would say Kevin James, and Kevin James say Adam Sandler. They got, like, really competitive. It was really funny.
Were you nervous? I mean, you're interviewing these big Hollywood stars on the red carpet. Like, how are you feeling inside in that moment?
I just don't have, like, that nervous switch in my body. But I just thought it was such a cool experience, and I just wanted to embrace it and live throughout the moment, you know?
You also got some makeup tips from our amazing co-founder, Marie Osmond. Tell me about that and when you interviewed her.
Well, first of all, Marie Osmond and John Schneider, I just want to give them a compliment for all their amazing accomplishments and achievements with the Children's Miracle Network hospitals, because I just think they are super incredible.
Thanks to them, you know, we've raised over $5 billion in the last 34 years to help kids across the country. So thank you for that shout out.
Yes, they're helping kids just like me, you know? Okay, so Marie Osmond, she is such an inspiration. I would love to be her one day. And
I think you're well on your way, girl.
But I remember she gave me that one makeup tip because there's only a few of us women out there. We have this little, like, beauty mark right next to our eye, and Marie Osmond has one, and I have one, and she says she always, like, dots it with, like, a little gem, and she says she always does it whenever she goes to perform, and she always said, okay, here's a Marie Osmond one-of-a-kind gem, and she actually dotted my beauty mark there, and I just thought that's a moment you'll never forget.
So tell me about your dreams. What do you want to do after you graduate from high school? Because I know right now you're a motivational speaker and you speak all the time. advocating and supporting your local children's hospital, what do you want to do after high school?
After high school, well, I first want to get my education done. I want to get, like, my college done and my master's done, and I'll specialize in, like, entertainment and, like, broadcasting and media. And then I want to start my own nonprofit organization to give back to all the amazing organizations that helped me through my journey.
I love it. Are you going to name it Kicking Cancer's Butt? Which has been a mantra.
I like that. Kicking Cancer Butt.
I like that for a foundation name.
And I just want to be like a performer and a personality, I guess a TV personality, doing interviewing like I have been doing. Interviewing, public speaking, and all that good stuff, because that is what I love to do. I just really found my passion in that area.
I want to know what someone might not know about cancer that you think they should know.
Like you're saying, some kids just don't have the hope. I think first of all, they need to never, ever give up. They need to have that strength. I know sometimes it's hard to find that strength, but they have to dig deep down just to find it, because I don't think giving up is an option, Was there ever a time you didn't think you were going to make it? Honestly, no. I thought that cancer put my life on pause. I'm going to beat this cancer, take it off of pause, and go back to my life, go back to dance, go back to school, and go back to being a kid. What did you miss most while your life was on pause? Well, what I missed most was my friends and going to, like, school and dance and stuff, because it seriously happened over a week. The beginning of the week, I was at school and dance and playing with my dogs at home. Towards the end of the week, I was at the hospital getting brain surgery. What do you think is the biggest lesson that you've learned from your experience with brain cancer? To always stay positive and never, ever give up. And when you speak to people, is that your main message? Yeah, I always want to at least have the message come through that you need to stay positive, because, again, being negative is not going to help anything. So what would you say to the Miracle kids out there right now that are listening that are currently fighting cancer? I would like to say that you got this. Dig deep down inside of you. Find that strength and kick the cancer right in the butt. Say, I got this. I'm going to crush you. Goodbye, cancer. And stay positive during it, too. I love it. Well, Jessica, you're one of 10 million kids that are treated at Children's Miracle Network hospitals each year. What would you say to listeners today to encourage them to support their local children's hospital? Well, there's this fact that 62 children enter Children's Miracle Network Hospital for treatment every minute. That's more than one kid a second. And they're coming to the Children's Hospital because they know they get to receive the best care there. And to help continue, we need the support from the people by donating their time, some money and energy, If you are inclined to donate, it's so easy. You can just go to cmnhospitals.org and click donate. Jessica, I like to close out the podcast by asking this question. If you could create 3 miracles in the world today, what would that be for you? 3 miracles in the world? Yes. 1, I would just like to end cancer, like, forever. Yes, that would be an amazing miracle. Exactly. 2, I would actually like to put the hospitals, like, out of business. I don't want any doctors working or anything anymore. I'm sorry you guys won't have a job, but I think that's a better outcome for no more hospitals. And, 3, what would 3 be? Feed the kids that are hungry, that don't have food, they don't have clothes, they don't have a house, I would like to give them the things they need. Jessica, thank you so much for joining the podcast today. We're so grateful for all you do as an ambassador to help more kids like you. And thank you. I hope that you have an amazing day full of lots of miracles. Oh, you too. Thank you so much. You're so wonderful, Kelly. I love you. I love you, girl.
Thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode of Untold Miracles. To support your local children's hospital and create a miracle in your community, go to cmnh.co/Untold Miracles to help create a miracle in your community today. $1, $5, $10, all the money stays local to help kids in your community. And if you enjoyed this episode, text LOVECMNH to 51555 to let us know and subscribe for more.